Happy and Healthy, a series to help you learn about available resources.
Welcome to another edition of Happy and Healthy, a series produced by Tampa Bay Community Network to help seniors, older adults, and their families learn more about the resources available to them in our community. Today's topic is going to be on dealing with new technology, which I guess all of us do every single day. I'm Louise Thompson. I'm the Executive Director of Tampa Bay Community Network, where you can learn video production skills, come down and make a show just like this one, about some topic that you happen to like, enjoy, want to inform people about. We're fortunate today to have with us Renelda Sells, the Chief Librarian at the Hillsborough County Public Library System. Welcome. Glad you could make it. Sherry Faking, who is an instructor at USF's Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. Thanks for being with us today, Sherry.
Thank you.
And Steve McClure, who's the manager at one of our esteemed recreational centers in Hillsborough County, named after Phyllis Buzansky, the Buzansky Senior Center.
That's right.
So welcome to all of you. I'm going to start with Renelda and ask you, Renelda, tell us a little bit about, I know there's a trillion things our library does, but can you sum it up?
One of the best kept secrets is that you can go to a public library and learn how to use computers or a lot of the new technology that is emerging all the time. Our customers come in and we have electronic books, and they may have received a new e-reader or an iPad for Christmas, and they don't know how to use it. And you can come to your local library and we'll show you. We have classes in virtually all of our 25 libraries in the county, and you can come to any of those classes, or you can just walk in a public library, and quite often we'll try to take the time to show you how to use it.
Lucky we are, aren't we?
Yes.
Sherry Osher.
Yes, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, or OLLI, is a part of the University of South Florida that is devoted to lifelong learning for seniors in many areas. But one of our favorites and my specialty is the technology section, and we have Apple and PC computers available and classes.
That's great. Steve?
The Aging Services Division within Hillsborough County Government is a division within the Department of Family and Aging Services. We merged with Children's Services and Head Start here recently.
So I misspoke. You're not under recreational, or you are?
We're not under the Parks and Recreation Department. There is a separate Aging Services Division within the Family and Aging Services Department. Health and Social Services, Children's Services, Head Start, and Aging are all in one big department now. And within that, there are 8 senior centers within Hillsborough County government, Phyllis Buzansky, the center that I manage, being one of those. And we provide a myriad of services for the aged. We provide adult daycare services. We provide activities for active seniors. We provide a nutrition program where several people are fed there during the day. There's free transportation with the county Sunshine Line van service. And then we do certain outreach activities and education to caregivers and things along those lines as well. And one of the services that we're going to get into here is the computer classes that we offer to seniors.
That's what we want to talk about. So I was just wondering, you know, I've noticed, I mean, here's my smartphone and my iPad, which my sons all gave me a year ago, and I'm having a great deal of fun with it, but I notice that I've met a lot of people my own age who are very reluctant to even touch these things, as I was back in 1982 when I got my first computer. How do you deal with all that? Or are you seeing a big amount of people coming into your different programs to learn? Or
well, we found that seniors seem to be in between two situations. Either they are given a piece of technology by a family member, younger usually, saying, "Here, Dad, you'll love this." Mm-hmm. And then the kid goes off to Seattle.
Okay.
Or they're in a situation where they might ask a child or sibling about technology, and they'll say, "Oh, mother, no one your age uses that sort of thing." So
Really?
the answer, we think, is kind of in the middle, and this is what we try to do at Ollie, is help the people make wise technology decisions.
Steve, you want to add to that?
Yeah, and certainly that's one of our challenges that I found within the senior center, because you have to be 60 years old to come to the Phyllis Buzansky Senior Center, but many of our participants are in their 70s, 80s, and they're just afraid of computers.
Yeah.
As she said, sometimes they've been given one, a PC, desktop, laptop, and they haven't ever done anything with it. We have a gentleman who comes in as part of the Retired Senior Volunteer Program every Thursday, a senior himself, who comes in and teaches computer classes in this lab that the library provides for us within our senior center. And he regularly has people sign up for the classes and coming in, but of course the aides within the center, myself, are available other days to get people in there, and I'll say, well, come on, we can go on YouTube and look up who's your favorite artist, Glenn Miller, and type it in there, and you can watch all sorts of neat videos, and it'll just blow you away. But it's like pulling teeth sometimes to get some of them in there. But slowly, I think that's sort of evolving with all the baby boomers now who are retiring every day, and they tend to be a bit more computer or technology savvy, and so I think that's going to sort of evolve where we'll find more and more of the participants who come to use our center are more interested in taking advantage of this technology that's there.
Ronaldo, do you want to add to the people you see down at the library?
Yes, well, we have 25 libraries all over the system. And I think a lot of people are looking for someone, they're looking for one-on-one attention. And they may have a son or daughter or grandchild that gave them something, and then they left to go to Seattle. And they may have tried to teach them some things before they left. But it takes time sometimes to learn how to do things. And I think a lot of times they enjoy coming to the library because the classes are smaller. We try to make them so that they're not intimidating, and it's an environment where you're with other people who are struggling to learn it as well. So it's not as intimidating. And I think that's what a lot of people want. They want a situation where they can take the time, they can ask a question that others may think, maybe that's a dumb question, but it's not, because you really don't understand.
And I think people are being asked, or at least I've seen people my own age who get on Facebook and say, oh my God, I just got an iPad, I haven't got a clue how to do FaceTime or Skype or whatever it is. And that's what I want to get in touch with my grandchildren, and this is the way they're telling me I'm going to be able to do it. Or then I've heard of people who had to learn Facebook and getting on the computer because their progeny are saying, if you want to see your grandchildren, I'm posting it on Facebook. I'm not going to send you anything anymore. It's going to be electronic. So it is difficult. Well, one of the things I wonder too, well, you just mentioned it's hard, and is that I know when I have a new program or a program that I use very infrequently, it's like learning it all over again each time, because I don't have like to go every week someplace to really get it in my head. You know what I mean? And that's what you guys do, right? You have your classes every week or something.
We do, and actually, I think our instructors would tell you that they see many of the same people again and again and again. Our classes are free, and if we have a class today on how to download books to your e-reader, or how to use, if you're trying to learn how to use a mouse, or if you're just trying to learn Microsoft Office products. If you've come today, there's nothing to say that you can't come again the next time that it's offered, if you can't visit one of the other libraries, and I think that's what they like, that it's repeated again and again and again, and they like, I think people like that.
Do you do the same thing over at your place? And
well, yes and no. Our participants pay a slight fee to belong to Ollie for the year, and then they are invited to take any classes that they choose. Okay. Our classes run approximately $10 a meeting. Our computer classes are divided into 4 meeting classes at a particular level. We have one class which is computers, the very beginning. What's a mouse? What's a monitor? And we have a textbook that goes right along with the class that is theirs to keep. We prefer that they have a computer on which they can practice too, because 3 hours is fine for 4 weeks, but you really do need to practice. It's like learning to ride a bicycle without having one.
Now, at the library, you can come in and practice on a library computer, or no?
Yes, we provide the computers, but I agree. Even when you leave there, it helps if you have one at home where you can go back and practice. Or if you can't, if you don't have one at home to practice on, you can come back to the library and we have computers that people can use.
And
Is this true over at the...
Yes, our computers are available anytime the center is open, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And as I said, the RSVP volunteer teaches classes all days on Thursday, a 2-hour session in the morning, and then a different group for a couple of hours, 1 o'clock on in the afternoon. And all the Microsoft Office products are on there to be taught. There are the county links to Twitter, to Facebook, to YouTube now, so that people can open their own account and learn through those if they're interested in it. But certainly besides Thursday, the computer lab is there all week long. Anytime that we're open, we do have a couple people who come in and take advantage of it at other times. Sometimes just playing some of the games that are offered on there, to be honest with you. But whatever they enjoy, we're just glad to see them on there and utilizing the computers.
Do all of your programs teach Mac and PC, or I heard you say PC more, I think. Did you say?
The Hillsborough County platform is officially PC, which I think is fairly common. She can probably speak to that a little bit more since, again, they're library computers, but everything county is PC. So
okay, and at Osher, do you teach both?
No, at Osher we do have both. We have an Apple lab at the university in our office building, and it has 12 brand new state-of-the-art Apple computers, which also
Call us if you need to throw one out, okay?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
Now, at our lab in Carrollwood, we do have PCs, and at our lab in South Tampa, we have PCs. Okay. But we can accommodate, and we have a very active program from start to very advanced in both platforms.
Renelda?
Everything is PC. Our labs are all laptops, but we do, if we're having a class on iPads, obviously then we're starting to, get into Apple products. But our basic class is Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Yes, those are all taught on PC.
Do you teach things about internet safety to seniors?
As part of our classes, that's one of the things that our volunteer instructor, Mr. Turner, does go over with them initially. But ultimately, the library has some filters in place, I believe, already to take care of certain things along those lines that you could probably speak to a little bit better.
Well, we do. We have the filters on certain words that we may say, if it's that, then it's not allowed per our policy. But we try to teach seniors, adults, children, everyone about the dangers that are lurking on the internet. A lot of people feel, well, you can do anything or get any information on the internet. But people need to understand that there are dangers, that there are people out there who are not your friend. And seniors particularly tend to be victims of a lot of that. So we try
They actually think there's money coming from Nigeria.
Right.
Right. So we try to introduce them. We try to teach them about the kinds of things to look for, whether or not this may be information that you can trust or cannot trust, and some of the things that you need to be aware of. And yes, we do. We have quite a few classes on internet safety.
We have some classes in internet and email, specialize in those. We've had a Google class. The classes that we have that deal with those subjects, we of course do stress it. I, in my beginning class, because that's, again, something everyone, when I ask them, why do you want to be here? I want to see my grandchildren's pictures, which infers internet. And at that point, we do discuss internet safety.
Of course, for me, I remember that it was my kids going off to college. How was I going to communicate with them if I didn't learn email and so forth?
Right.
That's a good number of years ago. But you know, that's what drives you to the communication with other people, I think.
Yes.
Although certainly it's, I was just saying to a friend of mine, I have a huge library of books in my house. I don't get up and look at them anymore. I just type it in and Google it, and there you have it. And I'm beginning to think I need to get rid of those books because I'm not using all of these reference books and so forth that I have. I guess that's happening to everybody.
Yeah.
I know the library is even running our programs. You are able to access our Happy and Healthy programs, our Job Hunting 101 programs. We have 3 series that I think we now are getting over to the library for them to keep posted, and if people want them through the library, they can get them. But you're talking about e-readers, and so is there a decline going on in people checking out books, do you think, or and they're doing more electronic books?
Statistics show, yes, I mean nationwide, that more and more people are checking out ebooks, but a lot of people are still checking out print as well. And you'll find that a lot of people read both. And even for me, it's where can I get it? Can I get it in print or can I get it, you know, electronically? Whichever I can get first, and that's usually where I am. So yes, you do see a lot more people are checking out ebooks, but the print hasn't gone away. It is declining, but it hasn't gone away.
Do you folks teach people how to figure out which computer they should buy for their particular needs and or which smartphone they should have for their particular needs? And if you do, how do you, give me some things you advise them about. That would be wonderful for our viewers to know.
Okay, we do have a class and have had every semester for at least 5, 6 years on how to buy a computer.
Okay.
And it's generally a one class, 3-hour session. And it deals with what to look for and what you need and how not to get oversold and so forth.
Easy to do. Easy to get oversold, even when you know them.
Well,
What a computer does.
yes.
You're like, I need one that'll last me longer, so maybe I should spend $1,000 or.
Which is not true.
Yeah. I've just
And
been through
then
that.
I have a class on technology update for seniors, and that deals with buying phones, cell phones, smartphones, the difference, and whether you want it and what it costs and where you get it and what one does that the other one doesn't. And then that goes into e-readers and tablets as well. I love my e-reader, but they're bleeding over into tablets as well.
Yes, they
And,
sure are.
it's-
And the tablets are doing the same thing because they're providing the same programs that you would
Exactly.
get on the e-reader. Steve, do you want to comment on?
Well, I was going to say that my daughter got a Nook for Christmas a couple years ago, loves downloading stuff from the library, but still, as part of her schoolwork and stuff, does hardback books as well. So there's both going on there, but I think the library's done a fantastic job of transitioning from paper books into all this new technology, and that's part of what a library is now, and offering training and everything, and that's fantastic. That's something that we do within the center, sort of on a case-by-case basis. There's not a set class now. It's basically just basic computer use when they come in, because some of them, like you say, starting from ground zero, this is a mouse, and some of them have a little bit of computer ability already, so we sort of work with them there. But occasionally we're asked technological questions that, just from our own experiences, from purchasing our own iPhones and pads and things along those lines, that we're able to give advice as needed.
The approach that, that we usually take is just educating people, not making recommendations on what they should purchase because it's a personal thing.
That's right.
But just trying to educate them so that when they do go in there, they know what
They know what RAM is and memory is, and
right, and that they're clear on what their true needs are. And if they're clear on their needs and what the options are and what each of them has to offer, that's the best way to prepare them. And then, in the library, we would have consumer reviews. So we try to point them to things like that to educate them, provide the information they need, and then they can make a better decision.
I wish we could buy some short-term memory for ourselves.
It's always the first thing to go.
Let me know.
Extra RAM.
I noticed that. That's the really bad part. What about I mean, every day, once you sign up for iTunes and all of that, you get a barrage of emails about what's new, and there's another app, or there's so many newspaper articles, too, about apps. Do you make recommendations on what apps to get or not get, or how does anybody keep up with that? If you don't see an article occasionally, like, here are these really good things, or you don't run into somebody who suddenly tells you about something that sounds so clever, how do you find out about them, you know?
Well, I'm pleased to say that the library is not trying to tell people which apps to buy. But again, we're trying to position ourselves so that we can help people to make good decisions. Recently, a team in a library put together a program where they're going to be working with parents to help educate them as they select apps for their children. So that's our pilot program now, and we hope to do the same thing for teens, adults, and seniors. So we want to do the research. We want to look at what's out there and be able to share that information with consumers, so when they're out there, they can make an educated decision.
So can a grandparent join your group of parents making recommendations to parents for their children? Because I find I have an entire folder on my iPad called Riley, who is my granddaughter, who's 4. And that, when I start thinking about, oh, I'm going to go over and babysit her, I'm going to hang out with her, then I go look on the internet, see if I can find something that would be suitable for playing with her, because she loves it. I mean, she's taught me more about my iPhone than you guys could, I'm sure, you know. I'm showing her one picture at a time, and she says, Nona, give me that, and does that. I'm like, oh, look, you could do it with your finger.
Well,
We'll
I
do that.
think you would
You
be
know?
perfect for that class. There's 2 different classes. One is for the parent or the caregiver sitting there with the child, and we actually have a kit of iPads. So
Oh, really?
you sit there with the child, yes, and they're showing them different apps, the kind of features that they have, and there are some that our librarians have researched and they've selected, trying to give parents or caregivers an idea of what's out there. Then we have a class that is just for parents or caregivers, no children, so you can focus. And then
Okay.
we can give you more information on the kinds of things that you should be looking for.
That's fabulous. You guys have that too, or no? That's a library
Well,
first.
I was going to say, sort of along the lines of you asking if USF could pass some of their old Macs on to you eventually, we still have desktops, 4 desktops in our computer lab within our center, but I'm looking forward to the time when the library has some of these iPads and such that they can pass on to us so that we can sort of work that into our curriculum as well.
Didn't I read right here in the Bay Area months ago that one of the high schools, I think it was in Clearwater, eliminated textbooks entirely and gave all the students an iPad?
I hadn't heard that
I don't
yet,
know.
but I'm sure we're going that direction.
I'm positive I read this. Do you know this?
I think I did hear that.
I'm thinking, okay, that was high school. They're bringing it down and bringing it down, and you can see a 4 or 5-year-old. I have a 2-year-old grandson, and I downloaded a program which allows him to play drums and piano.
Wow.
It's fantastic. He loves it.
Sure.
He can manage it. He's only 2 years old. So it seems to me they're all gonna, the print industry's out of luck. I mean, I just think toner is gonna go bye-bye or something. I don't know. I hope so.
And that's why you've seen in the papers over the last few years how newspapers are laying people off and stuff, because this is changing. Even though there's still people writing the content, obviously, that's put on the internet, I guess they don't need as many people as they used to put a newspaper out because of the layoffs they've done. So there's definitely a shift there.
There is, and you're right, it's changing. We have PCs available for people if they're just coming in, they need internet use. All of our computer classes are taught on laptops. And we do have some classes, if we're working with the iPads or e-readers, we do have samples that we have for customers. And most people bring their own because they have it and they want to learn how to use it. If I could, I'd also like to add that there are a lot of different resources available through our library website, which I know you will be posting our website. I'd like to let people know that if they're interested in more information, like for technology classes, if you go to the sections that says Learning and Research.
My favorite section.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, my very favorite.
Learning and Research.
I get all the newspaper articles I need and all the research I need on a person, an item, a subject from there. Yeah,
From the
because you can
library.
get in the all the local newspapers, but you can
Yes.
get them worldwide. It's just, yeah, I'm a journalism graduate, so, you know, I'm as close to being a librarian as, well, I wish I were a librarian too. But I love research and references, and it's wonderful because you can go, you get there with your library card. One of the things I was going to mention too is that I learned that if you go inside a library, you have access to more things like Ancestry.com, correct?
Yes, well, that's the only one. That, and there's one for Foundation Center for grants, but everything else you can get available, I mean, it's available
Yeah.
to you from home.
Yeah.
As long as you have your library card.
Yeah.
You can put in your library card number, which shows that you're a resident of Hillsborough County. Any of our resources are available remotely. But what I wanted to mention, for those who are looking for additional ways to learn more about technology, we have a new resource that we've recently acquired. It's called Universal Class.
Okay.
And if you go in through Learning or Research under Education,
Okay.
you can go into Universal Classes, and there are over 500 classes that are available for free, as long as you're a resident of Hillsborough County. There are technology classes available there through Universal Class. So I just wanted to put a plug in for Universal Class.
That's great. I didn't know about that one.
Yes, and then also on that page, if you go to the bottom, we have links to databases, resources that we have paid for, but we also have links to free resources. One of them is called GCF Learn Free, for those who might like to go to that website. And just about anything is available there for you online, so you can do it at your own pace and learn a lot about a lot of the Microsoft Office products, internet safety, a lot of different things. So I would encourage people to check that one out as well.
That's great. We're winding up our show, and you've got so many more things I want to find out, but we'll have to do a second one. I just want to give you a half a minute to mention anything or re-mention something that you think the viewers need to know about. I'll start with you, Steve.
Well, I just want to encourage all the seniors out there. We have some fantastic senior centers here in Hillsborough County government. A bunch of fun activities going on, new activities all the time. We're open to suggestions.
More than bingo.
More than bingo, domino tournaments, I mean, all sorts of fun things happening besides the computer classes. So we encourage people, I know the website's going to be up, to check out one of the county's 8 senior centers and get involved there. We look forward to having them.
Thank you so much.
One of
Sherry.
the things that we stress in our computer programs at USF is the fact that we not only have an instructor for approximately 10 students, each one on their own computer, but we do have coaches as well in the class. So there's a lot of personal attention. You can't get lost, and we feel that a lot of good learning goes on there.
Ronaldo, anything else
I
you want
would
to
just
add?
encourage people to go to our website, look at many of the resources we have, and check out our calendar to see all of the different programs that we have going on in your local public library.
I really appreciate all of you being here and relaying these wonderful resources we have in our community that so many people don't even know exist. And sometimes we'll go out and spend countless dollars when they could have gotten it for low cost or it's totally free. So here's a way to save some money today. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Happy and Healthy. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.